We're back. Hello, Cormac.
Dave.
Colin Harmon.
How are you?
Mr. Treafy, you're back.
I am.
Once again with
Our
the coffee
deity. Our deity is here. Our coffee deity.
Is that also in the contract?
Is also in the contract, yes. Yeah.
Daddy Warbucks.
You were you were one of the OG guests, but thankfully it's been a long time since you've been here, so...
Thank you for having me back on.
You have a good reason, because you have a new book.
Yeah, is that the reason?
Well, it's kind of the reason.
I mean, it's very kind of you. Yeah.
Well,
here to
shill, and that's it.
Well, we'd like to have you on anyway.
Shill my wares.
You do exist in our inboxes very frequently, but we kind of thought you also have a book, so it's a good excuse. For those that don't know, apart from running hyper mega global coffee empires, you do write a few books, and this is your second one.
Second book. So, second book. The first one was called What I Know About Running Coffee Shops. This one is called What I Know About Growing a Coffee Business.
And the third one in 2034.
What I know about destroying a coffee business.
Everything I know about selling a coffee business.
Going to a shop near you in 2024. Or 2034.
Written
even.
from my private jet.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
But everything I know about embezzling.
Allegedly.
What was it any easier to write a second book, or was it?
I actually find the writing very easy.
Okay.
I think the first one took 8 years, the second one took 8 years. But it wasn't 8 years writing. It's more like, well, the first thing is that it's not my job. So you kind of have to prioritize it. So if there was a grinder that was broken, I would fix the grinder, you know.
Yeah.
So it was always, I almost feel guilty about taking time to write the book, you know. So, and then you also have to learn the stuff.
Hang on, when you say it took 8 years to write the first book, do you mean like after 8 years of doing it, you went, I'm going to write a book? Or were you thinking about doing it for 8 years?
I was thinking about doing it for about 6 years, and I probably did it in 2 years, but realistically, probably did it in 2 months.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just pulled it all together. But you kind of like, it's like if I said to Cormac, hey Cormac, what's a good gearbox? You'd be here all day.
Yeah.
'Cause all the answers are there. All right. So if you answer that question, it's not that you give the same answer every time, but it's the same information. Just
sure. Yeah.
So if I give you 12 topics, you could rattle off the answers very easily. And for me, that's what it's like. So someone's like, "Should I open a web shop?" I'm like, "Well, okay." And when you own a coffee shop, you always get to this point where you're like, "Well, should I open another one? Should I?"
Yes.
Open a roastery? Should I do training? Should I do events? Should I do web shop? You know, so we've done all of those things. Some of them have been very successful. Some have been unmitigated disasters. So it was like, let's tell people about this. So that's what the book's about.
Okay. Now, anyone, like, obviously, it's not like you're reading some sort of college book. Like, this is...
No, it's meant to be that anyone can read it. If
passing interest in coffees or business, it's...
Yeah, so like my friend Nick Hogan, who's a PT, and my wife...
Hulk's son.
Huh?
Hulk's son.
Perhaps. I've never asked him.
Has ever seen
that should be his marketing plan anyway. And then my wife, who's also not a coffee person, they were like heavily involved in the reading of it. So, and my editor, who obviously likes coffee but is not a coffee person. So it has to be digestible for people.
Yes.
And I think people like... You guys like things, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So like...
Show me a rabbit hole.
So it's like, if you're into rabbit holes, you will be able to read it and find it interesting. Like I got cornered by a guy yesterday who runs a law firm, and he's like bought copies for the other solicitors. He loves it. No feedback on whether they like it or not yet.
Okay.
But he definitely really liked it. And I've had emails and like met people who are like architects or butchers or whatever, and they're interested. Actually, a butcher, McConnell's Butcher, sent me loads of great steaks today because he liked my book. I was like, this is brilliant.
Should write more books.
So yeah, it's I'm a person who likes process, and I'm interested in Cormac's weird skating film and your sneakers, you know. It's like anyone that's into that sort of stuff, I try to write it from that angle, because I think we collectively are those sort of people.
Sure,
that are into things, you know. So
I think also there's probably a lot of practices that kind of transcend. It's not specifically coffee as such. It's like that transcend, like you said, the solicitor or the butcher is like, there's probably bits that transcend lots of other businesses.
Yeah, it could, and further afield. Like I always say, the best business books are sports books. I read a lot of like books about professional cycling, hate it, never watch it, not into it. But the books I find really interesting.
Like for like the training, the process, and
or there's a book called The Race by Tim Crabb, I think it was. Both of those things are probably wrong, but you'll get there if you Google it. Fascinating, and just really enjoyed that. And then Not About the Bike, the Lance Armstrong book. Turned out it was about something else. But at the time, brilliant. I don't know. I think if you're into things, like the worst place for me to kind of get inspiration is to go to other coffee shops and other coffee businesses.
I mean, like for example, I know so. Well, I previously worked in the motor trade years and years and years ago before I was ever a journalist. And one of the guys I worked with, has a very big car group. But one of the things they do, one of their businesses is like one of these kind of car supermarkets. And they're not like a specific brand. They just sell used cars. And there's no haggling. It's like a no bullshit. Just
the price is the price.
That's the price of the car and that's it.
Yeah.
But he... I remember talking to him one time. He says, "I won't hire anybody for this business that works in the car trade."
Yeah.
So if you're
we don't hire baristas generally.
If you're a plumber or an electrician or a hairdresser or whatever, absolutely. Because if you come from the car trade, in his view, you will bring bad habits whether you realize it or not.
It's easier to teach than to unteach.
Yes, yeah. I thought that was quite an interesting approach to have that.
Yeah.
It's the same with baristas, isn't
it?
But
I think because of the scale that we have and the setup, this is, believe it or not, actually a training room. It's not a car podcasting venue. They
had me fooled.
Shut the fuck up, Colin.
I've never seen any training going on in here.
We only ever see podcasts when we're here, and that's it. So.
We have the means to train and teach people, and we have good culture within the business. So it's easier to get someone who's enthusiastic and bring them up to speed than it is to stop surface to have a theoretical discussion about what makes great espresso.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to just indoctrinate people.
What makes a good barista?
I mean, there's lots of things. To me, the most important thing is engagement.
Right. Okay.
The best.
That's the biggest thing.
Afraid not. No. Okay. So we're in the middle of something here. Cool.
Sorry, just got to.
Not every podcast. What was the question?
No, here, Mr. ESB man, come back in. What do you drive?
What makes a good barista, though? Is there a specific?
I think honestly, the most important thing for me is engagement.
Right.
It's definitely someone who will engage appropriately with people. Like some people come in and they're just like Americano, and the worst thing you can do is just this coffee comes from the youngest region in Bolivia, and what makes this coffee unique is they're just like, oh man, get out of my face. But then also other people are coming in, they're like, oh, have you got anything interested on? And you're like, oh well, actually we've got, and they want to be engaged. So the ability to read people and know what level of engagement they want and to deliver that. Like the best way to make a coffee 10-20% better is to be nice to somebody.
Yes.
That's a universal truth. Something I think the car industry could probably do. I've literally been in car showrooms and left.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that car because that guy was, an a-hole. It's happened quite often. So, and it happens in coffee shops. It's happened in our shops, and it's something we try to.
I've seen I've had good and bad experiences. Like I remember it was about a year ago. I was in Dublin Airport. I was going through, and I just wanted to grab a coffee.
Weird.
I know. Yeah, imagine.
You're not bird.
And there was one very small. One of the little, it was just literally a person and a coffee machine, tiny little kind of kiosk. And I just went up to her and I was just like, want to get my. I just, like I do everywhere, I just went, how's your morning going? And she kind of looked at me and almost did a double take because it's like I broke in the Matrix or something. She's like, oh, because every other person in front of me is just Americano, and just all these business guys Americano, latte, and it's just barking orders.
You do get used to it, it's.
I know, but it was just
in
it was just so shitty to just it costs nothing to just go hello.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's funny how often you do that, whether it's in a shop or in a. And there's almost a pause from the person because they're
not used to it.
They're not used to it.
I definitely think that North Korea is a bad example. Finland, okay, in Finland, you have to do military service.
There's your tagline for the other podcast. North Korea is a bad example.
So in Finland, you have to do military service, and and lots of countries do this. In France, you've got to do whatever as well. But I think that because we're a no war country, you should do instead of military service, you should do like service industry service. So everybody
hospitality service
should be required to work in a restaurant or a bar or a newsagent for at least a year, so that you can develop a sense of empathy and understanding that the people that you deal with in those situations are also people.
Yes. Yeah.
And we can all be on a level plane, and I can serve you and not be subservient to you.
Yeah.
And that we're all, and it teaches people problem solving, social skills.
Yeah.
And you can tell when people haven't worked in the service industry.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And it's great for young people as well.
And I have, and that's the thing. Like I've done it when I was younger and all that, and it literally costs nothing to just go. It's just acknowledge them.
Well, a big part of what we do is actually trying to build an environment where customers feel like that that's why guys don't have uniforms. It's because when they come in, you kind of see them as like you.
Yes,
It's not a mistake,
Yeah.
So you come in and people are like, they'll be like, "Oh, how's it going?" And there's a very relaxed atmosphere, so that you can talk to them and they can talk to you like you're equals, because you are.
But also that is also the thing that makes. Like for me, your coffee shop becomes a bit like your local, like a pub, and you do like, especially because you're typically in here every few days or wherever you might get your coffee. So you sort of have that bit of a rapport, especially because it's probably quite a habitual thing. You're getting your coffee in the morning or whatever, and you develop that kind of relationship with the people, and that's almost what makes you partly keep going back there as well.
Absolutely, and I think, people that work in hospitality give out about it all the time, but there is an onus on you when you run a business to create an environment where customers will behave like that. Because if you create an environment that's very haughty and it's very, bow ties and stuff and whatever, it doesn't make people approach you on a level playing field. It makes them stiff and upright.
Yeah.
So when we not lower the tone, think of a better phrase. When we North Korea,
just more relaxed.
Yeah, just more relaxed and chill out, then everybody can just get on. And thankfully, we've great customers.
I went. About a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was in last time I was in New York. I went for dinner in 11 Madison Park, which is like
setting the table. The book.
It's like there's a Netflix series about it. It's like it's one of the top restaurants in the world, kind of thing. Extraordinarily expensive dinner. But the thing that struck me was how relaxed the staff were. Like it wasn't this snooze. Like the Ferris Bueller guy, at the maitre d'. It wasn't like that. Often you go to these really high end restaurants and that's what you get.
Yeah.
And I kind of hate that. But the guy, we had this like Scottish guy who was like our waiter and went through everything, looked after us the whole night, and he was just the most. Chill, had a laugh with him. Just. But it never detracted from. He knew everything about the food and all that kind of 1,000% on form, knew exactly it, but did it in a way that was like so much nicer.
Yeah, and it depends what you want to do, because the other thing is that there are lots of very successful hospitality businesses that are very formal, subservient environments, and people will pay big money for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
my boss has been giving out to me all week. Now I'm going to give it out to you. It's just
I just don't like the stuffy thing. I think you can definitely still do whatever you want to call it, high end, without doing.
I think Leah is the best example of that in Ireland. It's great. He's called me many a 4-letter word over the past while I've eaten my dinner. So it's definitely informal.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of coffee and coffee cups. The whole thing I wanted to start talking about was you sent me the greatest cup holder in the world.
Oh, man. Is it weird that I'd buy a cup holder that came with a car? I've been looking. They're hard to find.
These days, very hard to find a good cup holder. Because now all we get is these empty boxes that are sort of half formed
fins on
with
the side.
2 circles, and nothing really properly fits in there.
No one seems to have told automakers that for reasons beyond comprehension, they change the size of cans.
Yes. Well, now some of them do give you that in between. They've given you another little 2 half circles that is almost like a Red Bull energy drink can size one, but then you can only put one in.
Yeah, and you don't want the over-engineered one, like the portion that comes out of the dash above the. And
well, hang on now.
That one comes.
There's a fine line between over-engineered and almost sexual arousal levels of finesse.
Are you a fan of that one? That one seemed to me like the Porsche one.
No, I think that's a bit too. Also, it's a bit too.
You don't upset the Porsche forums
It's a bit
again.
too spindly. It's a bit like a cup holder, especially if it's something that's going to pop out of a dash. I need to be reassured that my cup isn't. I go around a corner, I'm not going to be wearing my drink.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever drive a 911 in a manner where that cup holder would be useful.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Unless it has one
It's
additional
gyroscopic.
one additional grab handle for the passenger.
I had a 560 SEC Mercedes in petrol green, and it was absolutely beautiful. I'm an idiot for selling it. And I remember like driving along with this car is perfect, but then it was like I had a coffee cup. I was like, where do I? And I forgot there was a time when cars didn't have cup holders, so it was just. That was the
Drinks
only fault.
were only invented in the 90s. It's mad.
That was the only fault I could find with that car. But I didn't have a cup
because
holder.
back then you had time in your day. You had your coffee, and then you got in the car to drive. You didn't have to combine the two.
Yeah, maybe. Or somebody just sat in the car holding your cup for you.
Maybe, yeah.
While
Or
you
you're
drove
too busy
around.
on your
I-
in-car phone.
That strikes me as a sort of, there's a certain person, and I think of that car of the people who drive with actual mugs in their cars. You know those.
I have a tankard of coffee and I'm bringing it
But I
with
don't
me
mean
for
like
the day.
I don't mean like a Stanley cup or a travel cup. I mean like your house, like you've walked out of the
mug
kitchen
and-
with your thing.
I
And-
remember the first time I ever saw that. It was 2013, and I worked in trade cars, and a Hyundai Santa Fe first generation came in with someone's mug still in it. But Hyundai propagated this because they left a gap, a slot in the cup holder for the handle of your mug. They
Really?
wanted you to bring your Delf from home into the car.
Oh, I had the second generation one. I was just thinking there. I don't remember that bit. That's a good
the
idea.
first gen with the body cladding that had a
That's
and
many-
many.
Colin's search engine search history now includes first generation Santa
I mean,
You're
there's a
going on
book
my
in this,
list.
You know? Car cup holders. There's a book in this. We could definitely pull this off. You know.
Yes, yeah.
It would definitely
but you
be-
have to shoot it in a really Instagram artsy slash
the light box.
1980s Berlin
We'd
style.
have the market to ourselves.
We would. I know.
Like there are no other
This is
cup
the
holder
perfect
books.
follow-up book to your new book.
Yeah, what I know about
Everything I
What
know,
I know
about,
about cup holders.
everything I know about drinking in cars.
I regularly see a woman near me on the way to work in traffic with her cornflakes, like literally bowl spooning it into her mouth in traffic, and that's quite impressive too.
Yeah.
But
Road safety, never heard of her.
but yeah, Saab 95 cup holder
Yes, yeah.
is
Vertical slot in the dashboard.
yeah, and then you push it, and it's like it comes out, but also the back part of it pivots, and it just it's rigid.
Poetry
And
in motion.
it's, man, that car.
Yeah.
It's not its simplicity that's its key. It's the fact it's also damped. So it doesn't, as many other cup holders do, shoot out and go whack.
Yeah.
It gently comes out, presents itself, and becomes a cup holder. And when you press back in, it all just neatly folds up and away. There you go.
It's exactly it's that word I used earlier, finesse.
Yeah.
It has
remember-
somebody thought about this.
Like being a child and like just knocking it down and pushing it back, like determined that I would catch it on the way back
Yeah.
in, and you couldn't because that's
Yeah.
the way it's built. It's
But the fact
pure
and the
engineering.
fact that it moves, it's moving in two axes
Oh, man.
simultaneously.
yeah,
I feel like we should be doing this much more in a Marks and Spencer's.
If you
This
were
isn't
watching the
this isn't just a
retention-
cup holder. This is a Saab 93 cup holder.
Retention has just fell off
Yes,
completely.
Yeah.
but why is there? It's very hard to find Saab 95s now. They're
They've
not.
all dissolved, basically.
They didn't rust that bad. They did in the UK, but like plastic would rust in the UK. They were never as appreciated as BMWs or Mercs because it was up against the E39, which is, as much as I love a Saab, tough gig. The Mercs W210, that was muck. W211, less muck, but still for old people. But the Saabs were front wheel drive, so they never got the prowess and the drivers in the way that
There was
the Germans did.
4-wheel drive one. Was it
There was a
Griffin
four-wheel
or-
drive. It only came in the 9.3, in the
okay.
last gen 9.3. From its inception, you had the Aero and the Aero X. The Aero X was four-wheel drive. And you also had the 9.3X, which was the lifted body cladding,
The off-road version. The all-road version.
soft roader, yeah.
Soft roader, yes.
It
Cross-country.
only had four-wheel drive in the petrol. The diesel was still front-wheel drive and 8 mil lower than the petrol. The petrol got a bit more of a raise. So that and the Aero X, which was a twin turbo V6, they had 4-wheel drive. Yeah.
Can I also add to all of Cormac's accurate information there that the 9.3 also had the cup holder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the essential information.
This cup holder came in late 1997 for the 1998 model year in the 9.5, and then the 9.3 that followed the same shape and naming structure. It was previous to 900 and ran. I don't know. The Insignia one didn't get it, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah, the 10 and 11 9.5 didn't get it.
Yeah.
So why didn't they do as their Scando brethren did? And Volvo had the 3-point seatbelt that they made patent free, so everybody could use.
Yeah.
Like Saab had an opportunity to make everyone's life better and to say everyone can use this cup holder.
The one thing, Saab were brilliant at many things. Nobody in Saab had a thing called business acumen.
Yeah.
And that was really ultimately how the company met
They
its
make
demise.
fighter jets now, though, right?
They did a lot of different things, yes. But they basically, Saab at the end, they would take a GM product like the Insignia, and they would this was generally, I'm not going to say a perfectly good car in the highbrow sense, but it was a perfectly functional car, and they would then re-engineer the entire thing to such a cost that it basically bankrupted them.
Yeah. GM gave Saab a car. So in the 90s, they gave them, it was the Lancia Thema and the Vauxhall Carlton. They said, and I'm quote, anyone who's watched Top Gear will know the quote, it was, go away and make this a Saab. And they changed the wheelbase. So Saab were incredibly good at not listening to the rules. Now GM are far too corporate for not only the Saab but the Swedes in general.
Wow.
Just they couldn't get on. Fun fact: if we're going in a Saab rabbit hole,
Let's go. Buckle up.
the Cadillac BLS, yes, which was built off the 9.3, is the only Cadillac to ever not be built in the States because it was built by Saab in Sweden because it was a 9.3.
Huh.
And it was not sold in the States, I don't think.
Wow. I drive a 9.3 as well. They're nice.
They are nice.
The 9.3 convertibles.
Yeah, no, very, very nice, but it has to be a 9.5 for me because I grew up in a 9.5.
Yeah, we had two of them.
We had 9,000, then 9.5.
Not at the same time.
No. 9,000, you were like big baller if you had thousands.
I came home from the hospital in a Citroen BX, which explains so many things. And not long after that, it was a Saab 9000 CDE, which, for anyone curious, it is the one with the boot, not the hatch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was a pre-facelift car, so it didn't have the swoopy lights. But it did have a center console that would flip all the way back to be cup holders for the rear.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've often wondered this about Land Rovers. You know, we have the center, it does go all the way back, but what they've left you there with isn't very usable.
That went all the way back and touched the edge of the rear bench and became a tray/cup holders.
So why don't Land Rover do that? Because what they
Saab
present to you is like, oh, that's cool. Because now you can actually, I don't know what I can do with that.
Yeah, you could just put crisps on
It
it.
feels like they've made it in a way where it's not usable. So if you use it for something, it's on you.
That's the Chris Tarrant. We don't want to give you that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You could have had a table, but you don't.
But the other great thing Saab did was the night panel.
Night panel.
Which I think actually these days, in now that everything has a fucking 15-inch
We yearn
tablet
for the Saab night
display shining at you. I've been driving this X-Pound G6 out there, and I drove back. I was went to see the streets in Belfast on Monday night, and I'm driving back, and it's just like this screen glaring
not
at
just
me
Belfast
the whole time.
It's like I'm driving an IMAX.
And it's just like, fucking hell. I'm trying to turn it down. By the way, it had these like adaptive automatic headlights. Like, I don't know if they're running on a 56k modem, such as the lag. I eventually had to figure out how to turn the whole thing off.
Really?
It was just blinding every oncoming car, and then it'll go, oh, I'm blinding. Oh, I think it almost relied on them flashing you for it to dip.
Hey, John, come here.
Sorry, but, you know, I get it, X-Pang, you're trying, but fucking try harder, because it just doesn't work. And then the worst thing was I put on just the dips, and the dips are set so low that it's like, great, I can see 10 feet in front of me. Just
Every time I drive a modern car, my retinas are screaming.
and you can't there's no little toggle wheel to just lift the headlights up. You know, you get the little road.
Yeah.
No. Everything is on this fucking touchscreen. Everything. Like, literally, it's got a fucking indicator stalk and the drive stalk, and that's it.
It does feel like that stuff is ending, though, right? That like people are suddenly...
It's slowly starting to...
People are like,
but
got
the thing is,
buttons
it
again.
takes so long for cars, you know, to create cars and design them, and so it's still... There's a number of years before...
The bullwhip
but
effect.
It's... Oh, Jesus. Anyway, sorry. But Night Panel, that drive back from Belfast made me think about the Night Panel, where it would, you at the touch of a button, it would turn off everything in the car except your speedo.
And it was orange as well.
Was that orange? I can't
But I mean,
remember.
but everything else, when everything else was on, it was all orange.
Saab gauges are in the 9.5 and early 9.3s were traditionally backlit in orange with green accents.
Yeah.
So,
What orange? Sorry. You can talk about skateboarding. I can talk about football.
so the idea came from Saab, born from jets, and they went, oh yeah, we once saw a fighter jet, so we make fighter jets, and our cars are fighter jets for the road. And it basically came from driver fatigue, that, you know, it was safer and more favourable for the driver to not be blinded by all these little LCDs. So you pressed... It was first... it wasn't called Night Panel originally. It was either called Night Mode or Blackout Panel or something like that on the first one. And then they changed it to Night Panel, and that's what became known as. But you press that, it would drop everything. The whole centre stack, out. The little, like, your time date radio, out. And the gauges would all turn off, bar the speedometer, up to 80 miles an hour. And if you went over 80 miles an hour, it would light up the rest of the speedo.
Yeah.
If you went low on fuel, it would light up the fuel gauge. And if you overheated the car, it would light up the temp gauge as well. But if you slowed back down again, it would then de-illuminate that top section.
I mean, come on. How good is that?
You should be able to like download that software into your
Yes.
Xpeng or something, so you could just
Like,
have
you
that
should
kind
have
of...
some kind of emulator on your car that will just, I want to have...
It's the equivalent of engine noise, but for
Yes.
it's visual engine noise.
But the best bit was they didn't just like turn off the lighting; it switched off the gauge. So if you looked at it, even in low lighting,
if you shone a torch...
if you pressed it, all the needles would go to dead.
Of course
They'd
they would.
go to zero. So when you pressed it back on again, they came back to life, and it was like, you know, an LMP car exiting the pits, and it goes E mode, and then bah, it did that. Brilliant.
It was such a great place to be. I learned to drive mostly in a Golf Mark II, but then my dad had two 9.5s, and I did most of my kind of... could I say something that's extremely privileged now?
Oh, come on.
Now, not that I came from an extraordinarily wealthy background, but the company my dad worked for were building the M50. And he's retired now, so I won't get in trouble for this. And when I was learning to drive, he used to take me over to the spa. Well, whenever he got home from working time, I'd learn to drive there. But, you know, he'd be working late. We wouldn't get over one day. And I'd be like, we're supposed to go drive. And he got annoyed at this. So then one day he came back and he threw me a key. And I was like, what's that for? And he's like, the M50. And so there was a gate at the end of our road that led on. So we lived in Knockline, and it went from Knockline to Bray effectively. And they'd finished the main surfacing of the motorway, but all of the tributary roads and lights everything else. And there was an opening date that hadn't arrived yet. So there was a good 9 months before it was going to be opened. And aside from the first day when I opened the gate, drove in, and a guy in a Toyota flatbed with like a Hilux or something came up behind me with his orange light going, what are you doing here? And I explained who he was. He's like, grand, yeah. Then he used to just wave at me. I just had this like 7 mile stretch of motorway to myself to learn how to drive on.
Irish. It's not privilege. It's the most Irish thing ever.
It was class. You know?
No, it's all right, Tony. Just doing another PB tonight. Just back in a while.
Yes, that was great crack.
Did you drive fast, or did you actually just drive on it?
I still aren't. I'm not a fast driver. No, I just love just cruising around. The hill starts on the ramps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was because obviously I was like, my dad is a lovely man, but also a scary man. So I knew if I pushed my luck, there'd be a hell to pay. So I
learned to drive in my dad's company car park where he worked, and he took me out one day. He had a K11 Micra at the time, so he drove, and I used to you often had to go in at the weekend to do stuff or whatever. So he kind of was like ran the whole operation, and So like I'd often just kind of like hang around and just like get me out of the house for a while, and it wasn't like we had like father bonding time. He was like doing work, I was just on my own, this huge big plant. But it was like one day it was like basically when I was tall enough to reach the pedals, he just went, right, there you go, there's the car, clutch, brake, pedal, don't hit anything, and he just fucked off.
Yeah,
and just left me there to figure it out. And I was just driving around myself. That's literally how I learned to drive.
There's a guy I follow on Instagram. He's a YouTube channel, and he's in North Dublin and has like an old disco. Do you know who this guy is? I should really come with his name. And he does a lot of like off-roading and like outdoorsy stuff, and he's a cyclist. But anyway, he did a video today about like his little 10-year-old kid driving the Discovery through marshes, and just be like, it's good for them. They need to learn how to drive cars. And the theory that like if you grew up in the country, you're a better driver than if you grew up in the city, because you likely have been doing it on the sly since you were 8.
Probably, yeah. But
it's a weird,
equally, like I think everybody should have to learn on a bicycle and then a motorcycle before you get to a car.
Yeah.
You know, saying that a bit like your everyone has to be in a hospitality.
Rite of passage.
Yeah.
But even like my eldest son is 13, and I'm like already. He's obviously not driving now, but I'm like, I need to have a manual car ready for him.
Yes, yeah.
That he will obviously learn to drive it and then never use again.
Sure, yeah.
But I just want him to have that base knowledge
But
of
if
it.
he ever goes on holidays to Marbella, he can rent the car.
Yeah, I don't know, even then, like, it's everything is so...
Also,
push and
actually,
plug.
just very quick shout out to my niece who passed her driving test this week. Well done, Heather. Excellent, very good. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, you're dead right. Like, should have to. I know, like we often get people ask us like complete cars, like, should we do my test in an automatic or a manual? Like, just do it in a manual, because then you have it.
Yeah, you got full gambit.
Even if you never use it again, but if you only do your auto, you only get an automatic license. And okay, maybe you decide in 2 years you want to be an aid worker in Uganda or something like that, and they only have manual cars. It's just, you're better off to have it.
They don't have licenses.
You're better off to have it than to not have it.
If you were buying a car tomorrow for you, like a forever car, would you buy a manual or a automatic?
If I was buying a car for me that was just going to be a car, like I'm just going to be doing my day-to-day stuff, I would just buy an automatic. Simply because if you're going to be driving and you're going to be in the M50 and doing all that kind of stuff, it's just easier. It's just purely a convenience thing more than anything else.
I was staunchly against it until I was getting a Golf 4.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, get the DSG. And I was like, okay, fine. And I got it.
It's
And then
devoid
now
of
I'm
field
like,
anyway, so you're not gaining anything by having a manual.
well, it's faster than the manual, apparently. And there's like
it would
the...
be.
I
A
was like,
self-confessed man who doesn't drive fast.
well,
Pick a lane.
I said apparently. I didn't say actually.
Or so I've been told.
I have a friend who says I drive like I'm looking for houses. So it's like, definitely. But since then, I'm like, automatic.
It's like, for purely for the convenience of it, I would just get that. Which is nothing worse. I mean, especially like if you're on the M50, you're stuck in traffic going first, second stop, and it's just like, it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
So
the electric process seems a little bit too
extreme.
extreme. Though I'm just like, this is like a golf cart now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, there is a big part of me that really likes some of the electric cars for that reason, that A, it's automatic, B, it's also very quiet and super smooth. You don't get, like, you maybe don't think about it until you experience it, but like even sitting there in traffic with, like, say, a diesel, which normally has a more vibration from the engine, all that kind of transmits through your body, through the car, all that kind of stuff. You sit in an electric car, it's just like, it's totally smooth, it's totally silent. Now, yes, a lot of EVs are literally like appliances in that sense. But I kind of understand it, that if you just want something for like commuting day to day, that just to do that, they do make a lot of sense. I don't have a home charger, so that's why I wouldn't have one. But if I could get a home charger, if I could get a fucking home that I owned.
If I could get a home, I'd definitely get a charger for it.
I feel like you'd get a manual car, don't you?
I am a case by case basis because I don't like. Well, modern cars aren't really on my radar, so it's all older stuff, and some of them have dog shit manuals, and some of them have dog shit automatics.
Yes,
but given the choice of a car that was that you liked, that was equally good in both scenarios, which would you pick?
See, again, I only ever have a fleet of cars, so I have kind of like horses for courses.
I would still veer more towards an automatic, because I'm going to drive it more often in the everyday scenario than the spirited Sunday drive.
Yeah, generally my everyday car, I have tended to go with it must have heated seats, and it's preferable to be automatic.
Heated seats?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sore back always. hop in and out of many, many different
Yeah, I
cars.
do love it. It's like the heated steering wheel. The first time I had a heated steering wheel, I was like, "This is absolute nonsense." And now I'm like, "I'm never driving a car without it."
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like,
It's not gonna say once you go.
First
you
car
never
to
go
have
back.
cooled seats,
go on.
Saab 95.
Really?
They first ever car to have ventilated cooled seats is the original Saab 95.
Huh.
They
Have you had
pioneered it.
ventilated seats?
I have a suspicion. So I drive a Defender 110, the new one, not the cool one. And I have a suspicion, this might not be true, that it exists in the car, but it isn't
It
turned
does,
on
yeah,
because
yeah,
I didn't pay for it.
You, in your car, you would have pressed the
You can see it on the dial.
and then you twist it to the left for
Yeah.
cooled. Yeah.
But somebody told me that the technology's in there, and they just, if you pay for it, they'll turn it on. But
Yeah.
modern cars.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And actually,
But that ventilated seats in summer. Now I experience it more because I'm in Europe during the summer. It's a lot warmer. But yes, it is like there's something very nice about it. Having ventilated seats on a very hot day.
It's kind of like heroin, though. I'm sure it's great crack, but I don't want to try it. It's like,
it's Range Rover, and I'm sure by extension Land Rover, their ventilated seats work different to most other cars' ventilated seats. We're really going deep now on this.
Stay with us, folks.
So
as I learned that at VentCom last Thursday, it was like,
most cars that have cooler ventilated seats, what they do is they have a fan and it blows air at you.
Yeah.
That seems pretty straightforward. Range Rovers, and so again by extension I would imagine Land Rovers, they have their fan is opposite. It sucks the air through the seat. So essentially it's blowing your farts on the feet of the people sitting behind you.
wow.
There you go.
And keeps you, structured in the seats and all that. Something like that.
Yeah, it's a Gordon Murray seat.
It's definitely, on my list, but never done it, no. But
Yeah, you get. It's one of those things that when you have it, you go, okay, yeah. But you wouldn't want to. I think it's the thing that you would be hard pressed to pay for.
Yeah,
you
a
wouldn't
similar
be,
thing.
like,
I had a Range
ticking the
Rover
box.
Sport that was secondhand, which was a fantastic. It was a really great price, and it was in between cars. In fact,
You
I
said
get
you
that.
don't want to try heroin.
It was champagne coloured. That's it.
Oh,
Like turned
yeah.
up in a champagne Range Rover Sport. Anyway, but it had the not just side steps, but the the electrically deployed ones.
Oh yes.
Which, like, when you first do it, it takes a month of it smacking you in the shins first. That's the first thing. And then you're like, this is ridiculous. And you're trying to find a button to turn it off, which I couldn't find. And then after a month, you're like, how do people get into their cars without these things? Like, you
I
learn
took the
to work
steps
with
off
it.
mine.
Oh, they're amazing. And then now I would never pay for it, though. I think it's like a 10 grand option or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So-
10 grand to get it into your own car.
Exactly.
One that's on air suspension and goes up and down.
It better suck my farts when I get in there.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Yeah, I do like a ventilated seat. It's nice to have.
I've rarely had a car new enough to have ventilated seats, but I was in command of an IS 220D for a while, and it was in the middle of summer. Car was black leather, and you'd get into it after looking away for 10 seconds, and it's the temperature. So you go, Jesus, and you go, ventilated. Everything's well again.
Really?
Yeah. Some
So
cars
do
you can
you-
have heated and cooled on at the same time.
The other thing I will say about modern cars, and that is the connectivity with the apps and being able to either remotely heat or cool your car before you get to it, is one of those things that
Yeah.
I very quickly can get used to.
Yeah, especially if you're defrosting windows and
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
Although the Defender, like when you turn it on, it sounds like someone's turned the tractor on in front of your
Right,
house.
okay,
Because
yeah.
the engine just goes. "Bang!"
Okay, yeah.
But it's that's definitely a nice touch.
When I had that Elrock RS over Christmas, my first time living with a modern vehicle. Never mind the preheating. I was amazed at the heat from go. Like, just getting into the car and going, warm please, and warm air coming out and not having to wait 20 minutes and a couple of miles before.
How did you find that? Because when I saw you driving, I was like, this should be a documentary. Like, I want to see Cormac in the year 2026. Like, it's just.
I was blessed by the fact that it was a very functional vehicle.
Yeah.
So even last week, you had that Kia van. Looks deadly, funky little thing.
PV5, yeah.
The
Funky
PV5.
big thing.
Small for a van.
Really?
Yeah, well, dainty. But even that, had the keys to it, and I tried locking it with the keyless lock, and it took a few presses. The Skoda, bless it, every single time, every single time I asked to do anything, bar read a road sign, it was brilliant at it. It
Really?
just did it. It locked and unlocked like no other modern car I have used. So it made it very easy. There was very little to complain about until it tried to kill me by misreading a road sign and doing 190 kilometers an hour instantly.
Oh God.
Yeah, it went. We'd gone from miles an hour to kilometers an hour. I'd gone to Belfast and back, and on the way
you
back.
didn't switch it in the back end? Oh,
But no, it knew because it gave you a little. Oh, you're in Britain now.
Really?
And coming back down, it went. Oh, you're back in Ireland, and it didn't change the
It didn't
signs.
change- wow.
And so it saw a 120 kilometer sign
I went for miles.
and went 120 mile an hour. Yeah, no problem. Do that now. And like full boost. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then it did it on the M50. It read it off a bus, and it was like,
Yeah.
hang on, who's getting this
like-
ticket?
There are
Proper AI
there are
kinda-
several cars that use that think the M50 is 120 k's an hour, even though it's 100 k's an hour, because it sees the motorway sign.
Yeah.
But also I actually did some digging into this. They do read the road signs. They use the cameras, but they also have a separate mapping GPS data from, not like your Google. They have a separate. There's a company that does this specifically for the speed limits that pushes it out to the car companies, and some of that data is wrong, and that data is what it pulls from. So that's why some of the cars so often will misread the speed limit zones, and it's incredibly fucking annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I often wonder, is it a
I've asked some of the car companies, and they said, yes, they do update it, but they don't update it with the same frequency that, like, say, Google would.
You should have the ability to tell it when it's wrong. You're just like,
I know, but this is...
Well, it also had, when on the motorway at 120 kilometers an hour, it would see a 60 sign on an off ramp and jam on the brakes.
Yeah.
I was like, now I was at night, so
Yeah.
there's no one around me. It was fine.
A lot of the Volkswagen Group stuff does that. I've
Yeah.
had that before. For years, that's been
I
going
remember
on.
the Polestar having a particularly vicious auto brake.
Yes.
Like you just be reversing it, the next thing it would nearly break your neck.
Yeah, I remember...
Which, and
I
that side was a great car.
I was
but
in
that was,
Porto a couple of years ago, and I was with a colleague, and he was reversing into a car parking space, and in a car park, just backing it in, and it did that auto brake thing.
was it the Polestar?
No, it was an Octavia,
Okay.
Skoda Octavia, and it did that brake thing so strongly that we both thought he had hit
Yeah.
the concrete barrier or
Yeah.
a concrete pillar. And we both got out and we're like, the car was still like 6 feet away from the space, and we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But-
the Volkswagen does a little bit. I remember the Polestar being the worst
Yeah.
ever at that. But just of all the little niceties in that car, though, which one would you transplant into your Range Rover if you could?
Ooh, heat from go. I'd have that on anything. That was amazing. Like, that is...
The modern ones, you can almost feel the wires in them. Like they're that close to the surface. On
It
the
was
handlebar.
nearly enough. Like, you could convince people to move to EV on that alone. Just go, it's warm the second you get in.
Yeah.
Like, that was a really, really unexpected one. There are other niceties. Again, the dichotomy of it was a lot larger because I'm coming from stuff that's generally... Most of my cars are on classic tax. And the ones that aren't, like, the Range Rover is 3 years away from classic tax, and that's my newest car.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. How many cars have you got?
4.
Okay. I thought it was more. I was expecting
It
to say
was
like
more. I've gone
27
down.
or something.
Yeah, no, I've culled them all off. In fact, some are now
was that
entity
was that
exempt.
decision or did they call themselves?
I just got sick of looking after a local basket cases.
Yeah.
Like, they are...
What did he say to you the first time I met him? This is like a donkey sanctuary for Range Rovers.
Yeah. I'm a car orphanage, is what I am. And it's you see a stray.
Except it's the orphanage from all the children from Chernobyl.
It's like, no, you see an orphan car and you're like, I can fix you. Come on, let's go. And they cost thousands upon thousands. And I go, you're good now, aren't you? you're fixed.
So what you're down to the Twingo, the P38.
Twingo, P38, Caprice, and the Volvo 440 that was rescued from the shed
Oh wow.
now a year ago.
I saw a new thing recently I had never seen before, which is
Oh, the Mini. Sorry, the Mini.
the Mini as well.
With 5 cars.
5 cars.
Your first car, the one you always forget about.
It's out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
I go and visit that car is kept better than any of the other cars.
Absent parent.
No.
But
The cars live in damp, cold conditions. The Mini is inside on carpet under a cover. All the other,
Really?
yeah, it's like it's in its safe place. All the other cars are going.
You know the way the firstborn is always the best.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
favorite.
same thing. Yeah,
I've never heard that.
I saw the ultimate nicety this week, which is I didn't know it was a thing, and I thought it was a wind up until I looked into it. Is that you can get underfloor heating in your driveway now, just to melt the snow and ice that comes 3 days a year or something.
Absolutely. Why not?
The place that I go
Parts of
skiing,
Japan, they do that in the footpaths.
yeah, they had that. There was one bad
fancy.
hill in the town, and they ran the heating through of the town through this road, and so this one steep hill was always melty.
Genius.
What a time to be alive!
I know. No ventilated driveways though.
No, not just yet. Anyway, I'm feeling very inadequate now. I need to have ventilated car seats.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah, you need to
Right.
up your game.
We were speaking about the General Motors Corporation,
Go on.
parent, owner, executor of Saab. They also own Cadillac. You may have heard of them. Conversely, the first manufacturer to have heated seats in a car.
Really?
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Really? Cadillac?
Cadillac, the Cadillac of the road.
So, Cadillac, around the early 2000s, they had it. This is off the back of last week we talked about the Chrysler Me 412.
Terrible name, but go on.
Yeah. Cadillac had their version of this. It was the Cadillac Cien, which is, as I found out, Spanish for 100, because it was the 100th anniversary of Cadillac.
Okay.
And said, hey, we make a supercar.
Yep.
Now, this car, first of all, was designed to be a bit like an F-22 for the road. Hence all its angle. Have you ever seen the Cadillac Cien?
No. Can I Google it now? Is that okay?
Yes, yeah.
Jamie, pull it up.
Cien.
So this car was designed by GM's automotive design vision in the UK by a man named Simon Cox.
Oh, wow.
Now, you may have heard of Simon Cox off of such cars as the Opel Speedster, which definitely looks nothing at all like a Cadillac Cien.
No.
But more importantly, he's the man behind the Isuzu V-Cross.
Yes.
He brought us that absolute piece of glory. There's one in Dublin. There's one sitting
I've seen one of them. Yeah.
algal on a driveway.
Don't tell me any.
In
I
Dublin.
don't want to know. I don't want to know this.
Presumably,
It's like a RAV4's cool cousin, isn't it?
they... Yeah,
Look at that
Kanye
yellow one.
has one, so we kind of have to wait till he gets rid of it before they're cool again.
Yeah.
But this V-Cross is blocked in by an MGB that's even more algal. Presumably,
Okay.
if someone removes the MGB, the V-Cross can be freed.
Yes.
Enjoy the road again. Anyway, this there's not a huge amount of info on this Cadillac, but if you played Gran Turismo or Midnight Club or any of the games back in the mid-2000s, you'd be kind of pretty familiar with this car. And pretty wild looking, and it had a V12 in the mid-rear. Made 750 horsepower, but crucially was designed by Cosworth. There's a lot of UK influence in this car
For such an American centennial car.
But they wanted to go for big leagues. It was meant to do 200 mile an hour. And, the gearbox was built by ProDrive. The whole car was pretty much British.
Right.
Did Cadillac know this was happening, or did they just
the Brits designed them a car and hey, here you
had
go.
some agents in Europe that went, here, guys, let's build a Cadillac, don't tell them.
that supercar you ordered.
We need a car, but we need it to be good. We better get the Europeans to do it. Yeah.
That they built a functioning prototype. It wasn't a fully production ready. It didn't do 200 miles an hour or anything like that. But it did have a V12 and it was a Cosworth V12 and a ProDrive box. And they ran it around some events from 02, I think, to 05 before they kind of sat down literally in a meeting and went, no one's going to pay 200 grand for a Cadillac, so kill it, take it out back and shoot it.
Yeah.
And it lives in the Peterson like all good prototypes or concept cars
Would
do.
be, yeah.
But it bits of it kind of lived on in the XLR.
Yes.
The one that was kind of like an SLK, but
I really like those. No, they're more like an SL kind of.
an SL, yeah. the thing about
XLR is like
Yeah, I
very
remember
cool,
that, yeah.
very
but
cool thing.
I don't understand why they kneecapped the XLR the way they did, because the XLR could have been a very good American
Harmon goes
S.
for the phone again.
Yeah,
Just jogging my memory.
Harmon's never been to America.
Yes.
I'm not sure I'll get back in. Yeah.
Wait till he finds out about what a big gulp is.
Was this the one where Clarkson reviewed it and he said it has a turning circle like the moon? Because
Quite
of
possibly,
because of the calipers on it were so big, it just couldn't turn very much.
Probably, yeah.
That may have been the SL65 Black Series.
I think it was that actually. You're right.
Yeah, because
sorry.
it couldn't do a
Oh, couldn't
3-point
turn.
turn on
Yeah.
the track.
Right.
Yeah.
So the XLR, if you look at the Cien and the XLR, the rear lights are kind of the same, and some
Yeah.
of the styling, the angular curves.
Yeah.
But the XLR was given the North Star V8,
Oh, yes.
which was the one
correct.
that routinely and for fun would devour its own head gaskets. It was meant to be, you had cylinder deactivation on it. And so it would run on 4 on one bank and switch between them as it went if you weren't using all the power. But however way they designed it, it just caused it to do head gaskets. Now, cylinder deactivation and other GM stuff, like they got on top of it eventually. But their deactivation in early cars, like the Tahoe Hybrid, that also had cylinder deactivation, which killed its own head gaskets. But it's like the fellas at Cadillac went, yeah, we need a V8, brilliant. What have we got? Not that LS-shaped thing over there. That's not ours. No, that's someone else's. We'll put the North Star in. Like, GM had the perfect engine. You go, this is the engine from the Corvette, the GTO, the Impala.
All the best performance
Yeah,
cars.
do you want it in flavors 1, 3, 5, 7, 6? Like, what do you
Yeah.
want? They had the LS, they didn't put it in, the car failed. Shock. If they had to just put that in, I think it would have done way
Failed
better.
to prepare, etc., etc.
Prepared to do head gaskets every fortnight. Yeah, exactly. The tail is all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Cadillac Cien. I had thought there'd be more in it, and it just isn't.
But that's part of a whole series. There was like, when I group all these cars together, there's the Nardo, the Volkswagen Nardo. There was so many of these really promising period of time in like the 2000s. Remember Bentley had remember they had like a rear engine supercar.
You're not. No, I'm not saying it again.
I say it
The
again.
Honaudiers.
There you go.
The what years? Hot nod years.
Yeah. See,
Not googling that one.
I have to be in France to speak French.
Yes.
But yes, it Hunaidieres or something like that.
Hunaudieres.
Yeah. Honaudiers.
Gorgeous thing though. You ever seen it?
Yeah, it's like
Oh wow.
Continental
Yeah.
GT
Gorgeous
supercar.
thing. Gorgeous thing. Yeah.
Do you remember
shame.
there was a Plymouth as well concept that came out that didn't make it to production because they killed Plymouth just beforehand, but it was kind of like a baby Me 412.
Ooh.
Hold the line caller.
No, hang on. I'm just looking here. I've just been served up all sorts of other like.
My childhood was brought to you by Maisto.
Yes. No, I can't find it here. There was a lot of they had a lot of weird stuff. What was it called?
It was a Plymouth something. I can't remember, but
Plymouth
it,
something.
it was right.
Anyway.
Do you ever wish with these
Right before they
concept
killed it.
things that they just didn't tell you sometimes? Because
Well,
they show you the concept, you go, that's amazing, and then when it hits the roads, you're like, well, that's a bit meh. And it's just they've just.
The wild thing is there are so many concepts that don't even see the light of day.
That's,
that they
I
make.
always feel better about that though, because I find them frustrating.
Like Porsche released a load of concepts a couple of years ago that had never seen the light of day. They were all just what we call design studies, and there were some fucking incredible things, including a Porsche van. That
Really?
was like a real. It was almost a bit like an ID Buzz,
But Porsche.
that kind of thing, and it was very much an homage to the old vans of like the 50s and 60s that they used to use for motorsport. It was super cool. I think they actually released a whole book on all of these concepts. Like they got them all like beautifully photographed, but that happens so often. Like I've been in warehouses full of these cars that people have never seen before, that car companies make, and they spend so much money on like these concept cars. Literally can cost millions to build because everything is it's a one-off creation, even though they're often not even drivable cars. You know, they're just effectively film props. But they spend millions making these things.
Or even I think 'cause the other thing that they do is that like Like I feel like the ID Buzz, like we were looking at that for like 5 years before it hit the road.
Yeah.
Like that was I know it isn't sold very well. I think they're great cars, but it hasn't sold as well as they thought. I think they've killed it in the US now.
Yes, yeah.
But I honestly think it was fatigue with it because everyone, that's cool. When can we have it? Middle of next decade, maybe.
Yeah.
And we were looking at it for so long that by the time.
I mean, that's Volkswagen. They do everything so slowly.
But then, like the opposite. Yesterday, they launched the RS5. This is like, what? Where did this come from? There's no like.
Yeah, but that had been working on for quite a while though.
The
but also,
ID
you know
Buzz-
that new RS5 is heavier than a BMW X5.
It's 2.3 tons.
Yeah,
it's
because it's a plug-in hybrid now.
Yeah.
639 horsepower.
And there's no RS4 now, right?
So no, because of the unique way in which Audi have once again tried to rejumble how it names its cars, because I don't know what the fuck they're putting in their tea over there. But yes, there now isn't a 4. The A4 kind of doesn't exist anymore. It's now an A5.
What happened was
don't even ask me
someone
to
from
try and
Audi was
explain it.
walking through the office and they had in front of them a tray. And on that tray was a bunch of Scrabble letters and they spelled out the names of all the cars they had. And they tripped.
Yeah.
And they fell. And when they picked all the Scrabble letters back up again and put them back down, that's what you have now.
Yeah.
No one has a clue what's going on, including Audi.
It's like with they have the Q4 and the Q5 and the Q6 and the Q7 and
Yeah.
and then we want what we gonna call this Q8, but it's smaller.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any.
There's a Q8. No, it's an e-tron.
Famously, they announced several years ago that they were renaming how they named their powertrains.
That got really weird.
Right, remember, and so everything was like an Audi, an A330 and a 35 and all. Back when Twitter was good, that came out, and for a day and a half, me and basically every other media journalist and organisation just went collectively, what the actual fuck? And it got so bad that about 3 days later, Audi fired the member of the board that was responsible for implementing.
But then they did it anyway, didn't
and
they?
Because they'd already
printed the stickers.
They'd made all the badges, so it's just.
Yeah, that was really
and now
weird.
because everyone, I was driving, like I'd be driving like an Audi A6. It was called a 40, and people were like, "Wow, 4 liter." I was like, "No, it's a 2 liter," but it's a and you just couldn't explain.
And the
it.
more confusing bit was it wasn't just engine size. You could have a low power output car, which would be, say, a 10 or 20, but you could option it up to fuck and bring it to a 30 or 40. Or you could have a 50 with the big engine, but no option.
I went on international Audi events, and the people there who worked for the company couldn't explain
They
it
didn't
to
get
me
it either
properly.
But didn't Porsche do this with the Taycan as well? Where they have a turbo, which is confusing enough.
The turbo is the range topic. It's a specification
But then
grade.
the 4S is faster than the turbo or something, and everybody's like, "How did?"
And the Cayenne turbo is faster than everything, so don't buy a 911.
Can you two talk me out of getting a Taycan? Because I'm looking at those prices, Taycan, and I'm just like looking at them going.
So, do you like to be warm in winter?
Yeah.
Then don't get one because the heating will break in them because it breaks in them all.
All of
Same
them?
with the Audi e-tron. Yeah.
Okay,
There
that's
you go.
convinced me there. Because every time I look on cars,
Do you want your children to respect you?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah. You know the way they've lost so much money, those Porsche Taycans, right? You can buy it now, and you based on what it was new, you will save so much money.
Oh yeah, I've seen one for like 60 grand that was 180 or something.
You will still probably end up losing so much more money because they are just no.
And then I'll buy it off you for nothing.
For his donkey sanctuary.
It's okay. I have to charge it every single day, and I get 10 minutes of use. But look how quick it goes in them 10 minutes.
So so the RS4 is kind of dead, and it's now called an RS5,
And it looks worse than ever.
It's just, the whole video on Complete Car, by the way. So if you want to go and look at the YouTube channel there, go and check that out. Matt, sent Matt over, and he did a preview of it, and it's just disaster. I just don't get it. And it's like,
still would though.
It's
obviously wouldn't. They're not going to throw that sort of money in the car. What's it going to be when it hits the road? It's like 160 grand.
Well, it's a plug-in hybrid, you see. So, in actual fact, if you were
the first time,
it will get.
So the tax is like
it
20
actually
quid.
shouldn't be that bad. I mean,
Really?
it's like the way when the current M5 came out now, it became €60,000 cheaper than the last M5 because it was a plug-in hybrid. So this will be a similar story. We don't have pricing yet, but it will be a similar story.
But it looks like a Land Rover owner got hold of an RS6 and bobtailed it.
Yeah. It's just And also, just the interior of it isn't great. You know, I think it's a bit too sort of busy inside with all the.
It's a bit too much. My living room has accent lighting.
It's got all it's like all these displays, and then they do this other third screen in front of the passenger. Which
I was saying to you before we came on that I'm getting like PCP anxiety because my PCP is nearly up.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, and you go, well, I have to get something else there. And like, maybe I should blame you two because I'm listening to your podcast too much. But there's not
Have you
much
thought
excites
about
me. Like.
a first gen R8?
First gen? Oh no, Jesus no. I mean, like, well, first of all, I need 5 seats.
You have a bus.
Have you thought
An
about
actual bus?
Have you thought about a Renault Twingo by any chance?
But even there's nothing that it would remotely kind of.
Yeah, isn't it funny how there are more cars available now than ever, and yet so many people say this to me like,
They're all good. They all do what they say, but there's nothing gets
none of
you.
them stand out.
I think there's some extent, like the Buzz is definitely a car to get with. That Renault 5, I like to look at that. I don't need another electric car, but then like I'm trying to cars that actually have character and something interesting about them. Like in fairness, I think the Defender is like that, but then there's like after that I don't. Unless you get into stupid money and performance cars and stuff, which I'm not really into, you know. But
Defender Octa.
320 grand, I think.
Yeah.
It's grand. It's on the monthlies.
Serious.
Just at a month.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Like it's hard to get something to get
the Land Cruiser I thought was going to be great, but then like 140 grand. I'm like,
actually, you should buy an 80 series Land Cruiser.
I would.
That's a deadly car.
Simon Dean went to the UK to get me one. This is about 5 years ago, and sent me. I remember waking up and to text messages. It's like, dude, this is not good. And the other side of it was rusted to bits. And he'd gone all the way there to get it. He's like, I'm not bringing it home, pal. I was like, all right. So I would 80 series.
Or for me, a first or second gen Hilux Surf are deadly. Third gen's good, but they don't have the 90s-ness of the first and second gens.
The Saved by the Bell kind of vibe. In
Well,
I like that.
I'd be putting Forerunner badges on it if it were me, because Secret American. But they're all deadly stuff. And if I didn't have the Range Rover, it's exactly where I'd be.
Or one of those P38 Holland ones.
I'd move into your house.
You should borrow my Honda Element for a while, see if you like it.
Oh yeah, they're kind of cool.
That's kind of
fucking
similar.
Mr. Free Storage over. Yeah, no, you take it. It's not taking up room over here.
I've got to get back on the road anyway, so I'm going to get it back out the road. But that's similar to a bit like Vehicross we mentioned earlier.
Yeah. I've had too many sensible cars now for a long time.
I think you need some 90s flair and pattern seating.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can get that with the HRV as well if you find the right one. It has to be that purple with the.
Yes, yeah.
HRV.
It's got to be two-door HRV though, right?
Oh yeah.
Two-door first gen RAV4, preferably with the lift-off rear top.
I'd take a HRV first. But.
And you can get a Beams 2-liter in them as well.
Or a Suzuki X90, similar to the X90.
Yeah, no, see, they just look like
Barbie.
A pedalo.
Barbie would drive it.
No, that's sexist. I think they are.
No, I mean, literally, it looks like when they would make a car for the Barbie doll, that's what it would look like.
They're a funky little thing.
Yeah.
And I do actually quite like them, and I think they're something that you probably would own. But I don't classify them in the same category for some reason.
Yeah.
V70R. I'd try one of them.
Yes. Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Yeah. Not to be fast, just to be cool.
That one, Jeffrey.
It has to be flash green.
Oh no, I'm out already.
It's the color of your wall over there, the teal.
Yeah.
There's kind of an orange one. I'd probably do that one.
No, because you have to do flash green with the Atacama interior.
What's the Atacama when it's at home?
That is baseball stitched tan hide.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's deadly. And
Sorry, you need a Pontiac Aztec.
What is it? Can I?
Yes.
Have you ever watched Breaking Bad?
The Breaking Bad car.
Oh, yes.
That's what.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I remember watching that show going, what's that? What's that car? You know?
Pontiac Aztec.
Yeah, I remember we're watching a film with my wife one day, and she was like, what was that word mean? And I was like, what word? She goes, that word you always say when we're watching TV. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, you just said a word. And I was like, Escalade. And she went, yeah, that word. I'm like, he's driving an Escalade. And she was like... why do you always say that? I'm like, well, maybe it's because they just come up in films all the time. She's like, oh, is that why you always say words when we're watching movies? I was like, why have you never asked me this? She's because I'm watching a movie. And I'm just sitting there going, Escalade.
Colin's like some sort of terrible Manchurian candidate.
Just telling her the names of cars that she doesn't care about.
I've got to kill the president of Micronesia.
Yeah.
For many years, I've fought the urges to buy a Pontiac Transport,
Oh, yeah.
a dustbuster van.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they're dead. They're woefully shit, but
They're
90s deadly.
But there are so many cars that they're so shit they're good.
Yeah.
That's-
Like, I take the idea of an Espas and
Gen
then
1 Espas.
put it into
Amazing.
90s Americana, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that is woeful. The cheapest plastics, everything is brittle and smells, and yet I think that with all the mates loaded up, just a barrel of laughs.
What's the Dodge?
Caravan?
It's a van with the doors go and what's it called? It's got like a real furry interior, kind of like the 18 van, that kind of vibe. But it was in a film recently and it's got real furry inside on it. And
Like a day van, but like a D200 type thing.
yeah, one of them had like a submarine window in it.
Yeah,
for some reason,
yeah.
just in case you went in the water.
That's any day van from the 70s, basically.
Yeah, I could be into that.
Yeah. There's a lot of choice out there, but it's not new cars.
See, America's
Old
brilliant
cars.
for the shitty cheap fun.
But then I had my Tonga Green V8 Disco 3 that I thought was the bee's knees and it just broke all the time. So it's
There you go.
then
Yeah, but you still think it's great.
yeah, but I got something practical.
If
to
something
replace it.
else broke all the time, you go, this is dirt, I'm getting rid of this. And you go, no, I'm never going there again. You still want
Yeah,
that experience again.
yeah, but I need it on a part-time basis. I think.
Yeah.
So my friend Darren had
Can I have
the
ad
old
hoc
Defender. And
unreliability?
I was always like, it's the sort of car you want your mate to own.
Yeah. Definitely, there's that kind of criteria of
Yeah, I get all my
I want-
Defender fixed from Carl owning many Defenders.
I want visiting rights, but I don't want to
Exactly.
put it through college.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody wants to know any more about your book, where can they get it?
All the 3FEs
Yeah.
and 3FE.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And around the world in
no
various
bookshops.
coffee shops.
I don't have a publisher.
You're
so
not a publisher. Self-published.
Yeah.
There you go.
But they're selling anyway.
Nobody's taking a cut. All for you. Yes. Yeah. Treefee.com. You can get everything you need. What's gone down a treat with my traveling colleagues are I don't know what you call them, the sachets.
The instant coffee, yeah.
Instant coffee thing. It
takes a while to convince some people.
It's wrong to call it instant coffee because that's
Well,
what
no,
I
it
try and
is.
explain it to people.
So,
it's not instant coffee.
The process of making instant coffee is sound.
Yes.
Okay. Now it's not going to be as good as if you came here and somebody brewed you something fresh, but it's going to be close enough. And getting it in an airplane or in a hotel makes it better because you're desperate for it. But what happens is that generally what they use for instant coffee is what we would call sweepings almost. It's like the bits that they pull off the table when they're sorting coffee.
Yeah.
So it's very low grade coffee
Yes.
that they roast, grind, brew, make instant coffee out of.
Yeah.
And what we do is that we found a partner that has access to the plant and we send them a load of our coffee.
Yeah.
We roast it, send it to them, they grind it, brew it, freeze dry it. And that process is sound.
Yes.
It's just, they tend not to use
Just better
high quality coffee for it.
ingredients. Yeah.
And the result is kind of amazing, yeah.
It is. Yeah. I remember you ages and ages ago, you first gave me to try it, and I took them away with me, and in a hotel room one night, boiled the kettle, poured it in, I was like, holy shit.
How?
Like, fuck, that literally tastes like I went out there
Yeah,
and just
the
got
yellow
one.
one particularly, the Kenyan one is amazing.
So I've always had them in my bag when I'm traveling, and I usually I'll bring a pack away with me, and I'll have one, and I lose the rest of the pack because I'm just like here, have this out, and genuinely, so many people who are like, oh, this actually is coffee, instant coffee. That's good coffee.
You know how I know it's starting to catch on. Well, aside from the sales, but when I get into a flight now, and you ask the steward, can I have a cup of hot water? They used to just give you a cup of hot water, and now they're like, no, we can't do that. And then I go, okay, can I have a cup of tea, and can you leave the tea bag out?
Yeah.
And they go, yes, and then they'll give it to you. So, which I understand they've got their sales here, whatever. So that's the way I get around it now.
Yeah.
So
Also, by the way, Aer Lingus have switched to Costa Coffee.
really,
Muck.
I'll email the next.
What
week.
I know about selling coffee to airplanes.
Yes, yeah.
should
Yeah.
get their
I'll write the
CEO hooked on
foreword
them.
on it for you.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
But yeah, there you go. Treafe.com. Go get it. There you go. Also, whatever that latest, the yellow coffee I'm on, I can't remember the name of it now. The Loss.
I think what's in that bag now at the moment.
Let me tell you now. I'll tell you now because I'm on my second.
Lost Churros?
Is it Lost Churros? I'm on my
I
second
think
bag
it is.
of it now.
With the kind of graffiti kind of style thing in it.
No, sorry, the El Salvador.
Which El Salvador? There are many El
The
Salvadors.
Argentina Los Mangos.
Oh, Los Mangos. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is currently now. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm on my second bag of it.
it's confusingly from a farm called Finca Argentina, and he has all these different tablons. And years ago, he said to us, "Oh, you can have one as an exclusive, just for you guys." So we had them all on the table. We got to pick them. We picked Los Mangos,
Yeah.
and that was probably 12 years ago. And Ali, he's a good friend of Steve's, and I suppose a friend of mine as well. But yeah, we were very proud to have that coffee. It's great, great job.
Very good. Yeah, I was late to it, but no, it's on heavy rotation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. We'll see you soon. By the way, we were going to mention, but we are going to do. This is episode 84. We're closing down on episode 100, which is going to be a live show.
16 weeks, people.
You are warned. Take it as a warning. We're going to do another
Someone on
live
Cormac's
show.
mic like this the
That's
whole
it.
time.
Yeah. Yes. And Cars and Coffees are making a return once the
As
weather.
soon as it's...
Actually, once we organise our Cars and Coffee, it will
The weather will get better.
stop raining.
The people of Enniscorthy have requested that you put a Cars and Coffee on now.
Yeah.
Just need to get this going.
Colin Harmon on Instagram
Yeah. Oh, don't do that.
at Colin Harmon.
Yeah.
But just go and follow Treafe.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Far more interesting.
Far more interesting.
Thanks for having me back.
See you next week.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.